All you folks at home, get up on your feet. Let's go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
Hamlin coming on the high side, got a great run through turns 1 and 2. Passes teammate Carl Edwards, slots into 8th. Kurt Busch jumping out quickly as Jamie McMurray did not get as great a start from the outside lane. More on that when we talk about restarts later.
You know, Denny Hamlin had a very fast race car in practice for short runs, so he's taking advantage of that short run speed that he has, but he better be careful not to use up those tires too early here.
Matt Kenseth, he caught Kurt Busch about 4 laps ago, but is playing the waiting game.
I think now you're kind of in a dilemma here for a little while. Okay, so there were some guys who had a bit of a tire issue on that first go round. So now you got to kind of manage your tires and see how hard can I run and not abuse the tires. See a nice pass here. Finally got it.
Yeah, Matt Kenseth got a great run at the bottom of 3 and 4. He got to that yellow line. We talk about Kevin Harvick being so good. Well, he hit it just perfect. Got a great run up off of turn 4 to get underneath Kurt Busch.
Second time Kenseth has led today, but he's about to get into a pile of traffic as they head for turn 3.
But I was just saying, Mike, right now you're kind of juggling 2 balls here. How hard do I go and not abuse the tires and and run them as long as I can without something going wrong here with one of my tires?
Is in a tear off. Watch for a chassis adjustment. They did it last time and it worked well. Car is very responsive. It's a wedge adjustment. 4 tires and fuel. Meanwhile, the 4 Kevin Harvick, the balance of his race car is better. The tires also look better last run. Hoping for the same here.
He and Kenseth come out nose to tail. That will complete this round of green flag stops.
That's not a problem on the tires. That's looking pretty good.
Let's go back and show you how Kevin Harvick got the lead. Front straightaway heading for turn 1.
Yeah, we see Matt Kenseth come up on the 1 car. The 4 car goes to the bottom, has the preferred lane right there, and Matt really kind of gave it up pretty easily. He knew pit stops were coming.
And here is Kenseth coming back, but he will be coming to pit road for a penalty. Improper fueling on Matt Kenseth's car is the call.
Improper fueling.
I got to see that one.
That's a new one for me. I'm just wondering if the fuel holder made the wedge adjustment.
Yeah,
you cannot stand in the box if you're the fueler. If you make a wedge adjustment, you can do it if you don't make a wedge adjustment.
Yeah, we just had that conversation with NASCAR in our meeting yesterday, and that was made very clear. The fuel man, the can man, can stand over the wall, but he can't do anything but fuel the car.
Now the pit road officiating system is what calls these penalties to the NASCAR tower, and it's all done electronically, and once we have that information we'll share it with you.
When I find it really interesting, Martin Truex Jr. in all this has taken the lead. They came in earlier. I was really surprised. The 20 and the 4 car were both waiting for one another to come in. They stayed out an extra lap, and then Martin Truex Jr. in the 78, he comes down pit road. Now he's got the lead.
We're going to go back to the Matt Kenseth stop. Larry has a better view to show us.
Yeah, the whole key to this rule is if the fuel can is engaged. Now you see right there, it is engaged. So he's fueling the car. Now watch, he's going to lay the wrench on the deck lid. Now, if he'd have laid that wrench on the deck lid before he engaged the fuel can, it would have been no harm, no foul. But because that fuel can was engaged, you cannot do any other function.
Well, I know why they're arguing with them now, because that would have been me doing the same thing.
And
for the lead.
We've seen Kevin Harvick do this. I talked about it earlier. He gets on that yellow line and holds that car on that yellow line longer than anybody, and it just gives him this straight shot and blast up off the corner to get inside Martin Truex Jr. and take the lead.
Whoa, he got blocked right here, though. It's Truex going to look to the outside. Don't know if he's going to have enough room to get by or not, but here he comes back up on the bumper of the 4 car.
I think that's Greg Biffle to the outside. Was running right in the middle of the racetrack, as certainly he's entitled to do.
Now I'm really curious to watch here. Kevin Harvick, every time he comes off pit road with fresh tires, he just doesn't have the short run speed, or he's just being super conservative on the tires, just doesn't want to use them up. We've seen Martin Truex Jr. have great short run speed, and so I'm really anxious to see if he runs Harvick down and passes him here.
Vince, how about the tires that just came off Martin Truex's car?
Yeah, they showing some cords on that left inside, that left rear, and the inside rim of that tire, definitely, and that's what we saw from the first run of Truex as well. We didn't see it on the second and third run, but we certainly saw it on that last run. Truex, by the way, says, Jeff, that the takeoff is better in that 78 now.
Yeah, the left side tire is a good bit softer than what we've run here in the past. But I think when you watch Kevin Harvick, I think, Jeff, what he doesn't want to hurt those tires on the initial run. He wants to build the pressures up in them and let the tires come to him, and then let the 78 see where he falls.
Chevrolet versus Toyota. Harvick, Truex.
You just go right ahead, young man.
Yeah, you go burn up your tires.
Yeah,
I'll
ahead.
save mine,
I'll
right?
see in about 10 or 15 laps.
A lot of issues on this round of green flag pit stops.
Wow.
155 laps complete, all under the green flag. Give a listen to Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Too free, real harsh on the right rear, makes it hard to get to the apron and stay there. Right, way looser. Oh, we're about this set of tires.
And Junior talking about the new set of tires there. He's thinking for the next stop he wants a wedge adjustment to help it. But all the drivers sounding a little more tired at this point in the race already, Mike.
Thanks, Jamie. That's our nationwide Dale Jr. performance update. Currently 6th after starting 16th.
And Mike, just think, Dale Jr. is talking to Greg Ives, his crew chief, while he's riding around this racetrack, driving around this racetrack 180 miles an hour. So that takes a lot of focus.
And you could tell he was wanting to get a lot in a hurry on the straightaway.
Yeah.
And you could sense his frustration. He wasn't real happy with the car. He said harsh. We've heard him say that a few times this weekend. And that just means the rigidness of the ride, how it goes over the bumps, how it absorbs the bumps, and how it's making it a little more challenging for him to hit his marks.
Harsh is usually, to me, air pressure. Like the car has a really bumpy, hard ride if it's got, like air pressure buildup.
You're right.
Kevin Harvick back to the lead and driving away from Martin Truex.
There's something we haven't seen all day. The caution flag. First caution. Lap 210 of 325. Nearly 2 hours of green flag racing with Michael Waltrip, Chris Myers. And time for a KFC race break as you see debris on the backstretch with Kevin Harvick leading Martin Truex Jr. Here's a quick recap. Kurt Busch started on the pole. Remember brother Kyle. His time was disallowed because of a technicality. And Kurt Busch led the first 39 laps of this race. Dale Earnhardt Jr. made up 11 positions in the first 10 laps. Has since had some adjustment issues. Kevin Harvick had an early tire problem, but overcame that to get into the lead where he is now and has led the most laps in this race at 65. Matt Kenseth was cruising. He went past Jimmie Johnson, but then a penalty for improper fueling put him 2 laps down.
Yeah, and his crew chief, Jason Ratcliffe, he argued with the NASCAR officials while he left Kenseth on the track. That's a no-no. Once you see the black flag, you have to come to pit road. The team didn't do that. He lost an additional lap because of.
A couple of storylines. Martin Truex Jr., the heartbreak last moment loss at the Daytona 500, coming in second to Denny Hamlin last week. And Kevin Harvick, 24 Atlanta races since his first career win in Atlanta, his only Atlanta win, that dramatic victory against Jeff Gordon back in 2001. And we're getting ready to set up pit stop.
Austin Dillon got the free pass, so he's the 12th car on the lead lap. Right behind him is Joey Logano, who's in position for the free pass. We're in the restart zone, and Jimmie Johnson got a good start. He is all but even with Harvick.
When they get that 4 down, Mike, I mean, it's a shorter distance, obviously when you're down on the inside there. So that gave Harvick a bit of an advantage once they got down the track a ways. But that was a good spot. That was a good restart for Jimmie Johnson.
Well, Kevin Harvick has a lot of decisions to make right here. He knows his car's not as good, or he doesn't like to push it as hard on these early runs, but he also knows that the laps are winding down. He's got Jimmie Johnson, Carl Edwards. These guys are strong on the short runs. Martin Truex Jr. Does he want to push it here and make sure he maintains that lead?
Jeff, the reason he's going to push it here, he don't want to get back in the traffic. He don't want to fall back 3 or 4 spots and then have to work his way around those guys. Remember, in the race, he's been letting 1 or 2 guys get by him. He can get by them pretty easy. You don't want to get back in traffic now.
During that green flag exchange of stops, Jimmie Johnson picked up the lead because he was the first to pit 9 laps before Kevin Harvick did.
And this is the exact flip-flop of what I was talking about. That was a huge risk for them to come in and be the first one and possibly go a lap down if the caution comes out. But boy, if the caution doesn't come out, this can pay big, and it has. The 48's going to have a big lead right here.
Well, Larry kind of broke it down. I thought the way he analyzed, you know, these guys have got to do something if they're going to beat that 4 car. But I think really what changed it for Jimmie Johnson was that driving school that they put him in, you know. When they told him how to get down in the corner and get down on that yellow line. I think that changed everything.
It didn't hurt that they had a great stop. I don't think the 4 had a very good stop.
Ryan Newman's had a great day. He's been lead lap, top 10 all day. Crew over the wall too soon on Ryan Newman. And here's the stop for Kevin Harvick.
I mean, you can see right there, that's almost 4 seconds difference on the actual pit stop right there. So that is huge.
Couldn't get that tire out. We've seen that a number of times on these cars.
I will say this, Harvick has closed it up a little bit. He's down to 5 seconds behind. I know that's still a long ways, but that gap can go away in a hurry here with old tires. Jimmy's got to be careful not to abuse these tires any more than he already has.
Well, let's see where we are. Here's Jimmie at the line now, right here. And here's Kevin at the line there. So
yeah. 5 seconds is a long way.
He just hadn't made up much room.
Now, Mike, I know you called me some kind of blanket a while ago, but this will be the furthest anyone has run a set of tires what Jimmie Johnson's doing right here.
Thank you, Larry. Wet blanket it was.
Larry, I think you're my security blanket.
Trouble turn 1. A car goes up in smoke. And with 3 laps to go. Well, that changes everything.
Now what are you going to do, crew chief?
Ooh, 4 tires.
It was Ryan Newman, who had a great day, served a penalty and got 1 lap down and was running in 12th place. Look at that left rear all torn up on Newman's car. And this will be just the 2nd caution flag of the day. We're in overtime. Green flag. Johnson jumps out.
There goes Kyle. Kyle looking. He's looking. Where's he going to go? Because I'll tell you, that 18 car, Kyle Busch is a whiz on restarts.
Johnson holds the bottom. Leaves the top side open. Comes up to cover the spot.
Who didn't get a good restart is that Kevin Harvick. He spun the tires when he went to 3rd gear.
Crash back straightaway. This will be the race.
The race is over.
Here they come. Around to the line, looking for the flag. 4 cars involved in the back. Johnson takes the white flag. Dale Jr., Kyle Busch. Caution is out. It's over in Atlanta.
Wow.
See what happens.
Deep in the field on the back straightaway. Cars go spinning, including David Reagan, who ended up against the outside wall. That's Almirola smoking. On the left is Reagan. There's at least 4 cars involved.
Wow.
Another look in progress. There's Almirola, Reagan, Ryan Blaney, and the 4th car involved was Landon Castle.
A patented 48 win, a great stop on pit road, a great restart by you, but the gutsy call by Chad Knaus. That was the game winner.
Yeah, definitely a gutsy call and just such a great team effort. 4 car was awfully tough, and it was going to take some strategy to get by him. And when he told me to whip it as hard as I could there, I just felt like I was going to take too much life out of the tires, but it worked. I got rolling around the top and got it to work, got the slow Chevy to victory lane. So happy for Hendrick Motorsports and for everybody at Chevrolet.